Truth is, Dick Van Dyke is my hero. I grew up without a television in Arizona. I mean, literally my first TV was when I was a freshman in college. I found one on the street, hauled it up to my dorm room, tapped into some teacher's antenna out the window, turned it on. It was about 11 o'clock in the morning, and it was an old black and white TV, and on came a rerun of the Dick Van Dyke Show, literally as Dick came through, the title sequence and tripped over the ottoman. And I was smitten.
The Dick Van Dyke Show, starring Dick Van Dyke, Rosemary, Maury Amsterdam, Larry Matthews, and Mary Tyler Moore.
The thing about the Dick Van Dyke Show that made it a staple, forever, and you can still watch it and laugh and enjoy it, is I think the setting is important. I think it's important that you have a family structure. Family always is what we're most interested in as an audience. And then you had the work family, and that was just funny. All of them were great actors. But you had Mary Tyler Moore, who was a radiant presence, and you had Dick Van Dyke, who was radiant. That's hard to, resist, no matter how old the shows are.
And that's what you'll get every time you sneak up on me.
You promise?
Promise.
All right, I'll keep sneaking up. You keep doing that thing you do.
If you want to watch a show and watch a performer over and over again in your living room, you're going to want to have someone that is clearly someone you want to spend time with. In comedy especially, you're recognizing a basic kindness within that person, which you have with Dick. He gave people a laugh, he uplifted people, and he did it in such an elegant, funny, extraordinary way.